Alright, your sentence is done. Time to get out.
Guess this is it. Freedom at last.
Finally, man. The food's terrible, man.
Let's get a stupid video over.
Yeah.
Oh no, I swear there were maggots in my steak.
I miss the taste of chocolate.
We had that last week.
That wasn't chocolate, mate.
Wait, what?
I saw Larry squat over the kitchen counter.
Wait, are you the... What's up guys, it's the Media Maniacs here. Today we are watching the second part of a video that got us the second most viewed video on our channel, which is embarrassingly dumb ways people have died, Darwin Awards part. Do you guys remember any of the other ones last time?
We did not mention the bone.
I was going to say Airless Airhead, but you know.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was another good one.
Natural selection is Mother Nature's way of making sure people get smarter. But even after 200,000 years of human evolution, some of us are still making really terrible choices. Let's take a look at some of the most foolish examples now.
Shout out to How Amazed, by the way. Oh, sorry, Be Amazed.
20.
Be Amazed,
Way
yeah.
too hot spring. Have you ever fancied a dip in a hot spring?
No.
I know I have.
No.
Especially when clothing is optional. Maybe this is what Colin
Okay.
was thinking.
Someone should investigate this. Especially with that follow up
to go
image.
swimming in one of these famous hot springs. This
Oh, he
activity
jumped
is
in one of those.
forbidden
Yeah,
by
Yellowstone.
rules,
No.
but Colin, a
like,
former
what-
nature reserve
it's like
volunteer,
super hot.
thought he knew better. That is until he slipped.
Oh, he
into the
slipped,
Norris
okay.
Geyser
Woo.
Basin.
I was like,
Thermal
That's
bath
still
of
bad.
fluid
That's still
acidic
bad,
water
but, like,
it
below
is bad,
surface
but-
temperatures of up
At least
to
he didn't jump in it.
459
But it's still
degrees. I've heard that some like it hot, but that's just ridiculous.
this is more
Sadly
like an
for Colin,
accident.
the only
Oh, yeah,
remains
he just say he
found were his
slipped into
wallet
it.
and
Yeah.
flip-flops.
His wallet and flip-flops survived.
Number 19. Safety first. If there's one thing I know about safes, it's that they're heavy. I guess someone should have told this hapless burglar from Indiana, who broke into a man's garage and tried to lift an antique 900-pound safe suspended on a floor jack.
Does he think he's the Hulk?
Hulk smash!
When the homeowner returned to check his garage, he found the unlucky thief crushed to death. The owner of the safe said that stealing the safe would have been pointless because it was completely empty. Crushed to death by an empty safe. I'm sure there's a lesson here somewhere, and I think it's safe to say this burglar learned it. Number 18. Don't forget your pen. There are few things more satisfying than when bullies get what they deserve, especially big ones. Cambodian military policeman Kim Sakhorn, nicknamed Big Giant, got exactly that when he tried to extort money and crystal meth from a local dealer. To scare the dealer, Kim pulled the pen from a grenade.
It's the grenade! It's the grenade!
I'm
Deceptive
not
work, and the dealer handed over the
grenade
pen.
is back.
Ken
He
then
come
put the
back
live
from the
grenade
dead. You guys
Yeah.
made boot card.
He died here, came back from the dead, and then took a picture of
one.
the
By the time this massive mobster reached his motorcycle, the grenade exploded, blasting the Big Giant into tiny little pieces. Number 17. Runway cyclist. Unless you've got ET in your basket, you probably shouldn't be cycling on an airport runway.
Oh, wait,
This
what?
advice
Wait,
never
how
reached
did-
Brazilian cyclist Marcelo,
Was it-
who was
was it just
crossing an
open?
airfield near Sao Paulo while listening
Yeah,
to
wait,
his
isn't the
walkie.
entire whole
Yes, it was
blocked off?
1997,
Yeah.
but that's no excuse. The 25-year-old was totally clueless as he collided with the propeller of a landing plane, mangling the
How did
blades
you
and
not
damaging
see that,
the wood in
though?
the process.
No, I'm pretty
I'd
sure,
usually
regardless
say
if you have
wear a
headphones, you
helmet,
would
folks,
somewhat
but in
hear
this
it
Yeah.
still.
I'm
Or
not sure
see,
that
because
would
the
help.
propeller's like
Yeah, yeah,
Number
yeah, that's
16.
it, yeah.
center.
Fast food fatality. In an attempt to rip off their workplace, two managers at Burger King cooked up a whopper of a plan. Staging a fake robbery and arson in
robbery?
order to steal over $4,000 from the restaurant, 22-year-old night manager Lisa was bound with duct tape and shut into the walk-in cooler by her accomplice. Unluckily for Lisa, the fire department didn't show up until the morning, when she was found freezing and semi-conscious. She later died in the hospital from hypothermia.
That's one of the worst ways to
investigators,
go
Lisa
as
could
well.
have easily freed herself from her bindings and escaped the unlocked refrigerator, which is
Oh no, I
exactly
have
why
heard
she
about people
makes
getting
the
stuck in the
list.
refrigerator, to be fair. It's a
Number
lot.
No,
of
did you, no, wait, pause
Tiger.
it, pause it. Did you hear what they said, the investigators said she could have easily gone out.
Well, yeah, because she was part of the scheme of things.
Yeah,
she thought the fire thing will
so
come
that,
in.
so that confirms that she willingly stayed in there.
Yeah, because remember the plan was for the fire department to come into the scene.
No,
So
that's
she
not.
waited until morning and
that's
started
not.
But to be fair, a lot of people, that is very common for people to get stuck in the refrigerator.
Yeah, there was-
Yeah,
I've
it's
heard
way more common.
yeah,
than
because
you
I've
think,
heard
yeah.
it so Number 15, Tiger
Number
Toy.
15.
Tiger toy. Well, we don't know what's gonna happen.
Playing with your food is an unattractive habit, but some creatures just can't help it. A mugger in South Africa found this out the hard way after robbing a couple at knife point. The mugger fled the scene and clambered over a nearby fence. What he'd forgotten was that he was at Bloemfontein Zoo, and the fences were there for a reason. Suddenly, an ambush of bored Bengal tigers was upon him, and he quickly became their new plaything.
Ow,
After
Jesus
the body was
Christ.
found, a zoo spokesperson said the tigers had been fed the previous afternoon. Otherwise, there would have been nothing left. Number 13. Ahead for chemistry. In the age of pipe blockages and fatbergs, we should know by now not to mess with the sewers.
Yeah.
In 2008, a biology teacher from Sofia, Bulgaria was driving home with two friends. Bystanders saw her car come to a sudden stop, and all three passengers got out and started pouring leftover jars of chemicals down a manhole. These noxious chemicals included diethyl ether and methanol, both highly flammable liquids. The cocktail of chemicals in the
First of all, right, if someone says high flammable on it, the common sense thing to do is to not do anything or anything
Well,
stupid that has.
I'm surprised he
That could
somehow
be
went
flavoured.
off in the sewers.
I'm surprised they even got the thing out of the fucking.
Oh yeah, but I see. Yeah, no, that's even.
No, he went down to the sewers, you know. Whee!
Yeah, the King Mario.
Yeah. It's a meal. Mario.
My question: how did it go off though, or did the chemical react with each other and then? it
Probably.
exploded?
I mean, there's trash all over the fucking sewers. I'm surprised
Oh,
there's
yeah.
something flammable in there.
Yeah, fair.
chemicals in the enclosed space of the sewers caused an explosion so powerful that the manhole cover was launched,
Oh, she had.
instantly decapitating the polluting teacher. The moral of the
God
story:
damn.
don't mess
At least
with
it was a painful
chemicals,
death
or you could
because
lose
it would
your
have been
head.
too quick.
Number
Yeah.
13.
But still bad.
Flaming rodeo. If this isn't an example of you should have known better, I don't know what is. In Washington in 2010, during the American Sprint Car Series, two crew members dreamed up an insane thrill ride. They poured 4 gallons of methanol into a 55-gallon barrel, sat on the barrel, then lit the bong hole. These two
Oh,
bright
my
sparks
days.
thought the barrel would shoot across the parking lot like
So
a
like
rocket in some kind of fiery rodeo. What they'd actually created was a makeshift bomb, which quickly blew them sky high. Both men ended up in the hospital,
still
and one of them
floating.
died.
Wait, one of them survived.
One of them survived. What? How? What?
What is he? Is he in?
Not sure I want to think about the aftermath between their legs.
Yeah, I was
Number
literally
12.
thinking that.
Suddenly sluggish. Most people wouldn't have the guts to eat a slug.
No.
Turns out
Oh,
this
wait,
guy
yeah, I think-
did
Oh, I have
have
heard about this
Yeah,
as well.
A
I've heard
rugby
of this
player
one.
called Sam from Sydney, Australia was at a party in 2010 when the slug sped across the table. His friends dared
Yeah,
him to
he got
eat
like
it.
a really bad. He got like a.
Not long afterwards,
But-
Sam
yeah.
contracted a rat lung
Oh, it's a
rat
rat.
lung-
parasitic worm
Oh,
spread
my
by
belly.
rodents. The parasite infested
Yeah.
Sam's brain,
And then they
putting
made
him
him
in a coma and
just-
leaving
yeah.
him paralyzed. Several years later,
did die-
he died as
died,
a result
yeah.
of this prank gone wrong. I'm not sure I even have to tell you this, folks, but
If your friends daring you to eat a slug, they're not really your friends, are they?
Exactly.
No.
seriously.
Also, I'm sorry, I'm
Don't
just
eat
distracted by
slugs.
the fucking TikTok.
Number 11.
Good night, man.
Headless
Good
chicken.
night.
In 1997, a group of co-workers in Holland were on a tour bus, and some of the bolder employees stuck their heads out of the window to enjoy the air. You'd think you'd notice a tunnel approaching down the road, but 2 men kept their heads out as the bus entered a viaduct. And by this
Ow.
point, it was too late. The 2 men were not decapitated, but suffered severe head trauma and snapped necks,
What?
killing them
What?
both instantly.
Okay.
Way to ruin the
Well,
field
to be honest,
trip,
the bus
guys.
wasn't going that fast.
Number 10. Fatal footsie. We've all heard stories of
Who's
idiots
doing the
playing Russian
footsies?
roulette,
Wait.
but this one tops
Oh,
them
wait, I
all.
think, no, I told
In
you guys about this one. I heard this one
1999,
online. I
Cambodia
told you
was
guys about
littered
this
with
one.
all kinds of discarded weaponry after decades of armed conflict. In a place called Sve Riang, 3 friends had spent the evening drinking. After hours of arguing, one of the men pulled out a 25-year-old unexploded anti-tank mine.
Oh, an
Why
anti-tank
would
mine?
you do that?
The man
Oh,
then tossed it
God.
under the table.
I thought it was a
3 men
claymore.
began taking turns to first drink, then stomp on the mine. Other villagers fled in terror, and minutes later...
Wait, they did it in like a pub.
Yeah, they did it in like a
What the
public
fuck?
place.
Oh my
These
god.
guys- I'm surprised no one like full on like punched them and like, tell them
I'm
to leave.
surprised
By the
he
way-
even walked in with that thing.
Oh, yes, fair point.
Either way, they should have done it in public. Yes, they
Yeah,
should
they
have.
are
They could have
drunk,
done
so,
it in.
yeah.
They could have done it in somewhere else, like home.
They-
but
they are-
it's also bad as well, anyway. So.
Yeah, no, they are drunk, so we understand about the level of stupidity.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
the fact that
They somehow
they
managed
somehow
to bring that in.
they somehow managed to bring an
My
anti-tank
other question is, how
landmine
the fuck do
into
you
a
handle
public
something
restaurant.
like that?
An enormous explosion occurred, killing
Oh no, they did
all
say
3 men.
they looked around in a
Personally,
war
I think
zone.
the gene pool
so that's
might
probably
have
how they
benefited
found
from
it.
this one. Don't you? Number
Yes.
9. Domestic disturbance.
Oh.
Arguing
Oh,
with your partner
no.
can be an emotional roller coaster, but this man's reaction was shocking. In Buenos Aires, Argentina in 1998, a man decided that the best way to win an argument with his wife was to pick her up and throw her off the balcony. They were 8 floors up.
Oh my
But
God.
bizarrely, the woman became entangled in the power lines.
Oh my god, the
below.
power
Oh,
lines.
shit.
The
It had been an effort to save her, or maybe finish her off. The man leapt from the balcony, aiming for the wires.
WWE takedown,
The airborne
like.
abuser missed the wires
He
completely,
missed the wires
plunging
completely.
to his death.
Karma.
Good
The
God.
wife
No, that
managed
is
to
straight
swing
up
the
karma.
balcony by
That
death,
is
and
straight up
subsequently
karma.
rescued.
Wait, she swung. Wait, she landed on the power lines, survived, and she swung for the power lines onto the balcony and survived.
How? Wait, hold on a sec. Wait.
Was the power lines not on?
Maybe.
That would have
Yeah, no,
electrocuted
Yeah, she
us.
should have been fucking
Yes,
electrocuted.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would work like a conduit that like connects all
Yeah.
the wires together. So how did you... No, God was on her side that day.
She survived the whole thing. That is
How?
absolutely karma.
No, karma, yeah, bad karma on that guy's
Gasoline.
side.
Keeping box fresh trainers clean is a must, but this method might be going too far. In 1998, 67-year-old Texan Reva Nix was washing her tennis shoes. Wait for it, with gasoline. When the shoes, which she was still wearing, were
Gasoline?
ignited by a nearby candle. Reva had to
Wait,
run
her
with
shoes were
flaming
ignited with
feet
gas-
to her neighbor's house, who quickly doused her feet
Why
with
did
a
she have
hose.
shoes?
It was too late,
Had
however,
gasoline in
and
it.
Reva later died
Hello?
from her burns.
What?
The local sheriff warned others against using gasoline in this way, since it was apparently common practice. Well, I
What?
guess that's Texas
Oh, they
for
were to
you.
clean shoes. They use gasoline.
Number 7.
Oh, what
Consider
the
a car thief. Some people have pretty twisted moral codes, but this car thief from Pittsburgh had a bit of logic to his larceny. Randy
Pittsburgh.
Nestor stole plenty of cars, and whenever a stolen vehicle became hot, he'd torch it, reasoning that the fire damage would help the owners collect on the insurance. Pretty
Oh,
fun
insurance
for
scams.
him. It turns out Randy was the victim of his own virtue when he set fire to a van that he was still inside. On trying
Why?
to escape, Randy found that
Oh.
the driver's side handle was broken and the door locked. Randy burned up inside the van and was pretty much killed by his own kindness and stupidity.
He was taking
Number
it up the
6.
ass.
Floridian
Yeah.
pigeon. It seems that idiots are drawn to power lines like moths to a flame. Here, the infamous Florida man returns with a tale that
Florida
will
man!
set us some face palming in his grave. When Elian Garcia Rivera's pet pigeon decided to perch on a power line, he thought the best way to dislodge his feathered friend would be to retrieve a 20-foot-long aluminum pool pole and...
Metal and electricity
Don't go away together.
don't go well together.
Well, it depends on what context. They're a match made in heaven / worst combo in the universe. Yeah.
and jab it into the high-voltage wires. This Floridian only succeeded in turning himself into a human superconductor
Yeah.
and was killed instantly. If only this Florida man had listened a little more in science class.
Yeah, no.
Number
Facts.
5. Time zone terrorists. Daylight savings time causes a lot of confusion, but in this instance, it proved fatal. In 1999, Israel turned the clocks back a day early, but Palestinians refused to accept this Zionist time, except for 4 terrorists who'd planned a bombing that day. Their bombs were set to go off at 6:30 p.m., But poor communication meant the would-be bombers were an hour behind schedule.
Oh.
Explosives detonated while the terrorists were en route, preventing any further bloodshed.
So they
I
were.
think we can say these
So they
dummies
didn't.
got what they deserved.
So,
One-way ticket.
so the bomb had a timer on it, and the time went back or
Yeah, no,
forwards,
but
and it.
because-
Back a bit.
Yeah, or went forwards,
Oh
and
my
they went. They were
God.
too far away, so they decided it just blew up and.
Get to the afterlife.
Jesus Christ.
Number 4. Faithful flotation. I'll admit, I've tried to walk on water. Anyone who says they haven't taken a run at a pool with the hopes of making it across is probably lying. So when in 2016 a Zimbabwean pastor promised he would walk out into a river and rise above the water, his congregation were intrigued. After fasting for a week, the pastor waded 30 meters into a river known as Crocodile River. I
my
think the
days,
name might have
man.
put him off, but no. Pastor Jonathan was devoured by 3 hungry crocodiles before he even had the chance to perform his miracle.
Jesus.
So much for divine intervention. Number 3. Peeping Tom.
I think every
People
peeping
love
Tom
to
should
catch
just
a
get
glimpse of something
absolutely
they're not supposed
killed
to see.
anyway. They're
Like
disgusting
this Calgary
people.
man
So
who died in a shopping mall last
you
year.
can't.
There was
You should upon someone's death, but for this occasion,
motives were
Yes.
You
unknown.
must.
I think it's pretty obvious what this guy was up to when he
Yes.
climbed through a vent in order to access the area behind a wall in the women's
oh,
bathroom.
he got stuck,
The
did he?
man became trapped
Yep.
there and was found dead 3 days later. Police
Oh, wait,
have
yeah,
not
no, this
revealed
was
the
used in
cause
the
of
intro,
death,
yeah, yeah.
but it's safe to say this peeping Tom got a little more excitement than he bargained for.
Okay, hold on.
Number
Pause
2.
that. Isn't it like overused in films that the vents are like oversized?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that that mole had a vent semi big enough to fit him in is surprising to me.
Yeah.
Just buy a ticket. There are smart ways to save money, and there are dumb ways to save money.
We're
And
the
then
dumb
there's
ones.
this guy. Mr. Zhang was visiting Ningbo Younger Zoo in China with his family when he realized he couldn't afford the $20 to buy a ticket for himself. So he doubled back and decided to
Oh, he
scale
tried to
the
jump over
fence
the
in order
fence.
to access the zoo.
Just
After
pa-
a
just-
successful climb,
Just go in
Mr.
other day,
Zhang
get money,
landed in
and
a
just stand
tiger
by the ticket.
enclosure
Don't
and
Oh,
was
you're
set up
stupid.
by a trio of tigers
Oh my
who
God.
quickly ripped him to pieces.
Those chicks.
I guess he paid the price after all. Number 1.
Obviously.
Stings in the tail.
Oh, I'm getting
Asian giant
itches.
hornet is the world's biggest hornet,
Ah.
and it's the stuff of
I'm
nightmares.
allergic to beasts
Large,
like,
aggressive, and venomous.
snakes.
A swarm of these
Like,
insects can
this
kill
is
a
like
human.
insect
And they
snakes.
do.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Around
allergic to them.
40
My
people
whole
are
body
killed in
goes
Japan each
and I'm
year
getting
by
itches now.
hornet stings.
People.
So the last thing you should do is bug them.
Oh,
In
make
this
back it makes
hilarious
my
yet
body itch.
shocking video, the Chinese man is shown dancing with a hornet's nest and throwing it about after removing it. If you want to elicit stings from dangerous flying creatures, tearing their house down and juggling with it is a sure way to do it.
Wait, they
Even
recorded
with his
themselves
Wait, they
protective
recorded
suit,
him
the man
dying?
suffers
No.
multiple stings and is later shown being carried off on a stretcher, his
No.
body stiff and
Oh.
full of venom. I think he needed a better suit. So which Darwin Award winner would you give the #1 trophy to?
Oh,
And that's the video we watched.
yeah,
What would you do?
Oh no, the flipping the power cable one when the husband died. That was just straight up karma.
Yeah.
That is straight up perfect karma.
Imagine falling off. That's crazy.
That's
No, he
crazy.
jumped off. He
Couldn't
jumped
be
off
me.
willingly. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, no, because he tried to take it down. Thank you guys so much for watching this Media Maniac video. If you liked it, there's a description at the bottom where you can put in a video that we can watch.
Please do not be as dumb as the people in this video.
Yeah.
Drop a like, drop a subscribe. That's not how you say it. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next
We
video.
will have a
Peace.
proper outro. Farewell.
Someday.
Someday.
Someday.